In just a few days, Americans will choose a new president to take over from Barack Obama. For the Africans who moved to America as President Obama came to power, it was an eye-opening experience as the land of opportunity was rocked by recession and economic uncertainty. One of the hardest one of the cities that felt this the hardest was Detroit in Michigan. BBC Swahili's Zuhura Yunus has been to meet some of those Africans, and she joins me now from New York. Zuhura.
Thanks, Peter. As you said, yes, I'm in New York, and just behind me is the Brooklyn Bridge. I arrived here from Detroit last night, and as you already mentioned, I spoke to a number of Africans who came a couple of years just before President Obama became president. You mentioned Detroit was hit hard with the economic crisis, and you can see it, you can actually witness that when you get there. But still, despite all that, they are very optimistic.
Rising from the ashes. 3 years after filing for bankruptcy, Detroit is rebuilding and giving new hope to its residents. For the Africans who moved here as Barack Obama began his race to the White House, it was a moment of pride. But with that pride came the harsh reality of recession. Years on, some streets are still lined with houses torched and abandoned, shattering the idea of the American dream.
I remember working on the Obama campaign in 2008, and for the first time I was able to go into the inner city of Detroit, the really bad areas, when I saw people coming out of cardboards. And I saw the hopelessness in the eyes of those people that almost reduced my elevation of America, because when you grow up in Africa, America is everything.
Most Africans here think Obama did his best in challenging circumstances.
Now, people have to understand that he's not the president for Africa. He's the president for the United States. And the laws in the United States are different because we have the Senate, we have the Congress, the House. Those are the people who have a say on what the president does. For me, I've achieved my American dream. I should say, when I came in this country, I had only $5 in my pocket. Now, this country has all the resources. It has everything that we can achieve or we can get if we want to. So I call it hard work.
But for the Motor City, it took more than just hard work to steer the economy back on course. The fall of Detroit began with the meltdown of the motor industry in 2009. But many people here credit Obama's administration for turning around the industry and creating hundreds of thousands of jobs after the bailout of General Motors and Chrysler. But some Africans don't think President Obama did enough to fight poverty in the mostly black community.
He failed us because of the lack of courage. I think that's where, in dealing with Africa and dealing with African-American issues, I'm thinking that because you're a black president, you should try to do the best you can also to help your people, even you're a president of all America. He didn't put the black agenda right up there where it needs to be.
Despite all they've been through, Africans in Detroit have high hopes for the future, one that will be partly determined by the next president.
Well, Peter, as you know, less than 5 days to go, and the race is getting even tighter, especially at the key battleground states. And both of the candidates are fighting hard to try and convince those voters to go out and vote. Back to you, Peter.
Many thanks, Zuhura. We'll definitely be following you as you travel around the states to cover the elections. For Zuhura Yunus in New York.